Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hanging with Anya right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Anya Smith. Today's episode, we are doing Sleeper on the Stairs. It's a really good story. It can give you chills. Um, Sorry about that. My stomach sometimes feels pain, but I'm fine. So, yeah. So, before we do that, I want to say thanks for watching my show on YouTube. Please continue on tuning in. We are on episode 33, which is season 3, episode 33. So, the story is about a young guy named Ethan who, I don't know, checks up on whatever the house that he lived in or whatever, something about creepy stairs or whatever. But anyway, thank you for subscribing, and please continue on doing that. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Let's get started. So just sit back and relax, and let's get started on this episode. Ethan woke to the creak of wood. Peering through the dark, he saw a man slumped halfway down the staircase, his head bowed, shoulders rising and falling as though he were asleep. Thinking it was his father, Ethan whispered, but the man didn't move. Curious and unnerved, Ethan crept closer. The dim moonlight spilling through the window revealed details that didn't fit. His clothes were decades old, threadbare, and stained with something dark. Just as Ethan's hand brushed the railing near him, the figure vanished. He stood frozen, the silence in the house pressing heavy around him. The next morning, Ethan returned to the staircase. Dust that had lain untouched for years was disturbed. A clean path exactly where the man's head had rested. Wow, that is creepy. Apparently, he just witnessed a ghost, I don't know, laying lifeless or something. Ethan thought that his dad was, I don't know, drunk, laying on the stairs or something, but apparently his father is nowhere to be found, I guess. Maybe he's asleep or hanging out with his friends or something. So, the question is, why is the staircase such a powerful settling for hauntings? Apparently, that person, a man who lived in that house where Ethan lives now, giving him some kind of vision or a warning what could happen in the future of that man. The man who maybe has been dead for decades or longer than decades, that showing Ethan what could happen and what did happen maybe in the past. Ethan was, I don't know, startled, freaking out, didn't know what it was until he got closer and looked. The spirit of that man probably vanished. I think he's in a time loop where he's reliving his death, how he died. The man probably opened up to the spirit, a spirit of a man somehow decided to show Ethan what happened or what could happen in the future. Maybe it could be his father or grandfather or uncle, best friend, whoever it is. This could happen to Ethan, or it could actually happen to him. This could be Ethan in the future telling him what could happen on the stairs, like losing your grip and your balance, you end up falling down the stairs and hurting himself. Something like that. A lot of people did that happen to them. Like when I was watching Being Human on a series, like the British version or American version, yes, I've seen this shit. So on the American version, where Sally Malik, she was supposed to marry her fiance, but turns out he was a killer. Jealous, probably. She thought that maybe she was cheating on him. He decided to kill her for no damn reason. Turns out her fiance, Danny, is a jealous guy, and he decided to kill her, unalive her, and then marry somebody else. Man, that is so weird. Sally did not know what happened to her. She fell downstairs and broke her neck and died instantly. This could be, I don't know, based on real thing, but this is a ghost story. It can give your spine a very chill, like blood boiling. This is a good thing. So, Ethan, for instance, he is still like freaking out, did not know what's going on, still in shock. So, anyway, yeah. If anyone has the same thing, please tell me that you have a lot of paranormal experience. If you have some kind of spirit in your house, you need to investigate it, or call, I don't know, psychic mediums, call paranormal investigators like the Ghost Adventures crew or the original Ghost Hunters cast, like Jason Hawes, Grant Wilson, or like Steve Gonzalez, or whoever else you have in mind to get your house investigated. Or you could become one of your own investigations, get the evidence and post it online, or like on Facebook or on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok. Please do. But this story is could be a part of it, but this is what it is. So let's go to number 2. Was the figure resting or waiting? I don't know. It's probably waiting for the living to free the spirit from reliving its death. Spirits do that a lot, and the haunting part, it could be a warning. I think it might be waiting for the right person to tell the living what's going on, to show that person a vision, like a future of what could happen. So, yeah. Anyway, Ethan, for instance, he's still in shock. He just needs to take his time to figure it out, what could be causing that vision to go through. Ethan still needs to figure out, get more evidence, maybe like background checks of his house. I probably would, but where I'm living right now, we don't have a ghost in our place anymore like we used to. That spirit, that sweet old man who died in our apartment, well, on the 3rd floor, he is gone now. I mean, he saw me, maybe I saw him or felt his presence, but he's no longer with us. He's moved on to a peaceful place where he can find peace and be happy. So let's go to number 3. Could Ethan's family history be tied to the man? It might be. Maybe it runs in a family. What could happen? Like a vision. Maybe they're, I don't know, warlocks, witches, psychic people. You never know. Maybe they can see a ghost. Maybe they're ghost whisperers or whatever they are. It might be their ancestors warning them what's going on. So I, for instance, don't have any history about it, but my abilities only kicked in back in 2017. I didn't know that I actually have the abilities, but it could happen anytime soon. But I'm the only one who has the ability in my family. But my father tells me that our ancestors come to us in our dreams to tell us that something demonic could come to us. Like, they are warning us. They're warning me. Maybe it runs on my dad's side. I don't know. Except for my mom's side. That never happens to her anyway. So my dad and my mother, they don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to mention my mom, so I'm not going to put her name on this, so I'm not going to do it. But apparently I'm the only one who has the ability to feel their presence and see them in my dreams. Like, when I go to sleep, I close my eyes, I drift off, and next I go to this weird place, like, say, ghost world. Maybe I could see my spirits, like my ancestors or something. They're trying to tell me something, that something evil's coming, but you have to be aware of it. You have to prepare something. You have to like figure out a way to avoid all this. Believe me, I'm trying. This is pretty much what it is. So Ethan could be tied. I think he might be. Maybe he's psychic, or he doesn't know he's got powers. He doesn't know that he can actually see ghosts. Maybe he's going insane. But Ethan, no, he's not making this up. This could be tied to him and his family. Perhaps Ethan just needs to, I don't know, figure out a way to control his magic. Talk to the dead. Maybe he can, but he just doesn't know how. But it takes time. Like, I'm watching Charmed, okay? There's an episode that I have seen, the part where a bad spirit or a good spirit, like, say, Prue had to die so he could vanquish the spirit, but Prue was brought back to life after the spirit was gone. Everything's okay until there's one episode where the mother and the father had to give away the baby for his safety because a bad spirit was going to hurt the child. So anyway, the grandmother took her own life so she could banish the bad spirit away, and then she moved on after. She thanked the Halliwell sisters for protecting her grandbaby, and then she went peacefully into afterlife. So, but this is probably season 3, I think. Right now I'm on season 2. You can watch it on Prime Video, and there's like a lot of weird shit you can watch. Like, there's ghost hunters. You can go live and watch it and see how that is. But this is what my story is. That this is a good thing. So let's go to number 4. What does it mean when ghosts wear dated clothing? It means that the ghosts are from a different time, like different era, like from hundreds of years ago, like say 1,000 years in the past, where King Arthur wore different clothing. Like he was a prince, but his father was the king, but his father died after he went cuckoo. Somehow he was sick for a long time, but he went nuts. So 1,000 years ago, people wore silk clothing, including the armor when they were getting ready for to go to a battle against bad people. That's like in I don't know, medieval times. People used to wear clothes like that, and like capes. Beautiful princesses wore beautiful silk dresses. Princes wore whatever they were wearing, almost like, I don't know, togas or whatever. Same thing with the Roman times, okay? If you watch the documentary of Rome, like real Rome thing, and the narrator will, and a host will tell you what people used to wear, what they did in the past. Same thing, wearing armor, wearing a lot of Roman clothes, and Egyptian people, same thing, whatever. But this is like from 5,000 years in the past. People used to wear clothes like that. The day they died, they cannot change their clothes. They have to wear the same thing for centuries. A spirit has to wear the clothes that ghost died in. So, let's say if it was me, if I wore these clothes the day I die, I probably would wear it, but if I try to change it, it won't budge. I'll be wearing the same clothes as I died in, buried, literally like somewhere in the woods or near my house, like maybe in the backyard. People who died a long time ago wore those clothes, they can't change it. They have to wear the same thing, unless if they go to heaven, they'll be wearing different kind, like, ooh, almost like robes, and wings on their backs. That's called an angel, like guardian angel or whatever. But they wear whatever they died in. But spirits, they can have powers and maybe they could change. But if you're alive, you can actually change different clothes, whatever you're wearing, because you're not suitable for that or whatever it is. But ghosts, they're outdated, like out of style, like out of fashion. But this happens a lot. So spirits can do whatever they want, but they cannot change the clothes because they're dead. They have to wear the same ones. It's what it is, but Okay, number 5. How do we separate dream images from hauntings? That's a hard one. That is a very good question about dreams being separate from the hauntings. A dream is that a living person would have to dream of a person who is, I don't know, your loved one, like a spirit of maybe your ancestors. They come to your dream and tell you what's going on. A haunting is when you're still awake and you are witnessing the spirits that are still awake and haunting the place. I've been haunted so many times. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was getting ready for bed one time and then I heard this disembodied voice. It was like calling my name. I thought my parents were still awake and calling me by my name, but no, they were still asleep. And if I were dreaming, I would have to pinch myself to keep myself awake. But it's a dream. It's just images inside your head. You're like making this up, or you're processing all that. You're in shock. You need to like snap out of it and figure out what just happened. It's like a nightmare or whatever it is. This happens a lot. Okay, so why didn't the ghost acknowledge Ethan? Perhaps maybe because the spirit did not know that Ethan could see that ghost. He probably didn't know. Ethan didn't realize that he could see a ghost. Perhaps he's still in shock. He is processing that. A ghost probably is just reliving his death, and he doesn't know that he can be seen by a ghost. Or Ethan can't figure it out. How is this happening to him? If it was me, I would still be processing this. I would figure it out. Why can I see a spirit of a person who died a long time ago, like in the medieval times? That ghost of that man from a long time ago, like thousands of years ago, perhaps maybe that ghost did not acknowledge Ethan because he doesn't know that Ethan could see him. If he did, Ethan would still be afraid and processed this whole thing. Ethan just needs to take slow, deep breaths and figured out what's happening to him. Maybe he's a little crazy, well, he just doesn't know. Or the man does not know that he is dead. He doesn't know what happened to him in the past, like decades ago, whatever, but Ethan just needs some time to figure it out what it is. I need to figure out what it is first before explaining to the other people or explaining to the ghost that he is no longer on physical plane, that he is in the spirit world. They all need to figure out what's going on in their own little minds. Maybe they're confused. Perhaps that man is confused and he can't clearly figure out what's happening to him. But this is what happens to people who passed away that don't know that they have passed on into the other side of the planet or like into the spirit world. If it was me, I would want to know what's going on, what happened to me. I would still need to acknowledge all this, realize it sooner or later. But it just happens. It's natural. That's how life is. That's how it works. All right, let's go to number 7. What role does silence play in fear? Well, the silence probably in like other movies or paranormal stuff, perhaps any role it can play, but perhaps the fear comes from us. I've got fears. I've got a bunch of fears that I need to face. If I stay silent forever, I won't be able to face my fears. I would still be afraid of something. Fears are part of survival. I've got a bunch of them, but sometimes I forget what they are, but I can still face them. Any silence can be like it's a part of you, but if you can't say anything, if you don't want to, but you have to figure out how to break the silence. It's paranormal. It can take on any role. This is what it is. All right, let's go to number 8. This is our last one before I sign off. What do disturbed spaces, dust footprints prove to us? Well, it proves that it's a spirit. If the living witnesses all that, it sees it and gets in very shock of it, it's disturbed because people are being disturbed, or the spirits are disturbed by the living and they don't know what's going on. Perhaps we somehow, the living, accidentally disturbed the spirit from whatever it is. I mean, the spirits are usually the ones who haunting the place, and you see the footprints, but they're invisible, or somehow they are accidentally been seen by the living. But the dust spaces, it's probably because they are untouched for so many decades and centuries. If the living person stopped going to the space and do not touch things anymore, because no one has been into that space, like say the attic or a basement or wherever that part is of the house, has never been touched, which means that it proves that no one has been in that house for centuries, because it always gets disturbed if there's a spirit taking his or her footprints, or like leaves it, it's marked. Spirits are clearly trying to warn you, or they leave you notes, or they leave you some evidence, proof. They're showing it to you because they trust you. They leave them because they trust that living person for any other reason. So, and that's the time we have now. So, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I'm your host, Anya Smith. Next week, we'll be doing story number 4, The Mask in the Window. So that's the story we have for you today. So tomorrow or next week or whatever, but we will be doing this ghost story tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and yes, I will be doing this tomorrow. I want to say thank you for clicking like, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Please continue doing that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and please click like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.